Start of script. Before we begin, please note that this video provides general information and is for educational purposes only. It is not legal or financial advice. Always consult with a qualified attorney and a financial professional before making any significant business decisions or signing contracts. Nearly 40% of all commercial roof failures in the United States are caused by one thing: improper installation. Let that sink in. Not hurricanes, not blizzards, not a 100-year storm. 40% of catastrophic, business-ending failures come down to the contractor you chose. That's a coin flip on an investment that can easily run into the hundreds of thousands, or even millions of dollars. This isn't a leaky pipe in the break room. This is the silent killer of inventory, the destroyer of critical equipment, the cause of structural rot, and the #1 reason for unscheduled downtime that can cripple a company's revenue for weeks. The scary part? Most business owners and property managers think they're making a smart decision. They do what they've always been taught to do. They get 3 bids, they look at the numbers, and they often pick the one in the middle, or even worse, the one at the bottom. They believe they're comparing apples to apples. They think they're buying a roof. But they're not. They're making a bet. And the odds are stacked against them because they don't know the rules of the game. They're experts in logistics or manufacturing or retail. They're not experts in thermoplastic polyolefin membranes or ballasted EPDM systems. And a predatory or simply incompetent contractor can see that from a mile away. This is where everything changes. This video series is your playbook. It is the definitive guide for any business owner, facility manager, or property investor in the USA who needs to hire a commercial roofing contractor and wants to do it right. We are going to turn you from a target into a professional buyer. By the end of this series, you will know exactly how to find and vet elite contractors, how to read a proposal like an industry insider, how to spot the hidden red flags that scream run away, and how to structure a contract that protects your investment, your business, and your peace of mind. We are going to eliminate the guesswork and replace it with a rock-solid, repeatable process. I've seen the aftermath of bad roofing decisions. I've walked through buildings with ceiling tiles collapsing from water damage, and I've listened to devastated owners talk about the warranty that turned out to be worthless paper. I've also seen the incredible craftsmanship of true professionals who build roofing systems that last for decades, saving their clients millions in the long run. The difference between those two outcomes is what we are going to master right here, right now. The first step, the most critical step, begins before you ever pick up the phone. It's a fundamental mindset shift. You must stop thinking of your roof as an expense. It is not an expense. Your roof is one of the most valuable assets your business owns. Let me say that again. It is a critical asset. An expense is something you try to minimize. You look for the cheapest paper for the copy machine, the most affordable cleaning service. An asset is something you invest in to protect and grow your business. You invest in the best manufacturing equipment. You invest in the best people. You need to view your roof in the same way. It is the single largest component of your building that protects every other asset you have underneath it. Your people, your million-dollar machinery, your servers, your inventory. Everything that makes you money is protected by that roof. Trying to save 10% on the installation of that shield is like buying the cheapest possible parachute. It makes no sense. When you see the roof as an asset, the entire equation of cost changes. You start thinking about the total cost of ownership, not just the upfront price tag. The business owner who's stuck in the expense mindset asks, "What's the cheapest way to get this done?" The smart investor who sees it as an asset asks, "What is the best long-term value that will give me the highest return on investment?" That return on investment isn't just about having a roof that doesn't leak. It's about energy savings. A properly designed and insulated roofing system can slash your HVAC costs by a staggering amount year after year. That money goes directly back to your bottom line. Your return is also in the form of longevity. A system installed by a top-tier contractor using the right materials might last 30 or 40 years with proper maintenance. The cheaper roof might start having serious problems in year 7, forcing you into a massively expensive replacement 20 years ahead of schedule. Suddenly, that deal you got is the most expensive decision you've ever made. And then there's the biggest factor of all: risk mitigation. The true cost of a cheap roof isn't just the price plus repairs. It's the price plus repairs, plus the astronomical uninsurable cost of a catastrophic failure. It's the cost of lost production, the cost of damaged inventory, the cost of a lawsuit when a customer slips and falls on a puddle inside your building, The expensive contractor who charges 20% more but guarantees a flawless installation isn't actually more expensive. They are your cheapest, safest, and most profitable option because they are systematically eliminating your biggest risks. The second part of this mindset shift is to understand that you are not buying a product off a shelf. You're not buying shingles at Home Depot. You are commissioning the design and installation of a complex, integrated system. A commercial roof is a sophisticated assembly of multiple layers. The structural deck, vapor barriers, multiple layers of insulation, cover boards, the waterproof membrane itself, and the flashing, which is the intricate work that seals the roof around every pipe, every vent, and every HVAC unit. It's more like commissioning an engine for a race car than buying a set of tires. You wouldn't just ask for the cheapest engine, would you? You'd want to know about the engineering, the quality of the components, the skill of the mechanics assembling it, and how it integrates with the car's chassis and transmission. You are hiring a firm for their technical expertise, their project management skills, and their problem-solving ability. The physical materials they use are only one part of the value. The real value is in the execution, the craftsmanship of the welders sealing the seams, the knowledge of the foreman navigating complex drainage issues, the integrity of the company standing behind that work for the next 20 years. When you internalize these two ideas, that your roof is an asset, not an expense, and that you're buying a complex system, not a simple product, your entire approach to hiring a contractor will be transformed. You'll stop asking questions like, "What's your price per square foot?" And you'll start asking questions like, "What is your process for quality assurance on the job site?" Or, "Can you walk me through the specific flashing details you recommend for my building's parapet walls?" You'll no longer be an easy target. You will be an educated client, a partner in the process, capable of commanding respect and demanding excellence. You will be in control. This is the foundation. This is the new lens through which you must view this entire project. Ditching the cheapest price mentality and adopting an best long-term value asset management approach is the single most important thing you can do to guarantee a successful outcome. It changes the questions you ask, the contractors you attract, and the quality of the final result. So, before you do anything else, commit to this shift. See your building's roof not as a problem to be solved cheaply, but as a high-performing asset to be invested in wisely. Because that change in perspective is the difference between a 20-year headache and 20 years of peace of mind. So how do you find a partner who shares that perspective? How do you navigate the crowded, confusing, and frankly, often treacherous landscape of the American roofing industry? It starts by understanding that not all contractors are created equal. In fact, they generally fall into 3 distinct tiers. And failing to understand which tier you're dealing with is the single fastest way to turn your multi-million-dollar asset into a multi-year liability. Let's start at the bottom with what we'll call Tier 3. This is the realm of the chuck in a truck, the storm chaser, the residential roofer who dabbles in commercial work. Their business model isn't built on long-term asset management. It's built on volume, speed, and opportunity. Often, that opportunity is a hailstorm or a hurricane. They'll flood into a town, knock on every door, and offer a deal that seems too good to be true. And you know how that saying goes. Their calling card is the low price. They can offer it because their overhead is almost non-existent. They don't have a dedicated commercial project manager, a safety director, or a full-time service department. They might not even have a local physical office you can walk into. Their insurance policies are often the bare minimum required by law, which can leave you dangerously exposed if something goes wrong on your property. Their crews are frequently subcontracted, sometimes multiple layers deep, meaning the people actually on your roof have no direct loyalty or accountability to the company you hired. They speak the language of quick fixes and good enough. They'll push you to sign a contract on the spot, creating a false sense of urgency. "This price is only good for today," they'll say, or "We've got a crew that just freed up." They're masters of the hard sell because their business depends on closing deals before you have time to do your due diligence. Consider the story of a strip mall owner in suburban Dallas. A hailstorm rolls through, and the next day, a friendly, confident guy in a polo shirt with a new-looking logo is at his door. He points out some dings on the metal coping, offers a free inspection, and comes back with a quote that's 30% lower than what the owner had budgeted for a replacement in a few years. Better yet, the contractor says he can work with the insurance company to get the whole thing covered, and he might even be able to absorb the deductible. Sounds like a home run. The owner signs. The first red flag is the crew. They're fast, maybe too fast. The work is done in a week. But then the problems start. A small leak appears over the nail salon. Then another over the pizzeria. The owner calls the contractor. The number goes to voicemail. He calls again and again. Finally, he gets a text back. "We'll send someone out." A week later, a different guy in an unmarked van shows up, slaps some sealant on the spot and leaves. The leak is back after the next rain. When the owner tries to call the main office, he discovers the address is just a P.O. box. The friendly guy in the polo shirt? His phone is disconnected. The storm is over, and so is their business in that town. They've moved on to the next one, leaving a trail of shoddy work and voided warranties behind them. The strip mall owner didn't just buy a new roof. He bought a new, very expensive problem, and now he has to pay a real professional to come in and fix it. This is the risk of Tier 3. Now let's move up to Tier 2. This is your established, reputable local contractor. This company has been in your city for 10, 20, maybe even 50 years. They have a real office, a yard with their own trucks, and a solid reputation in the community. They likely do a mix of high-end residential and light commercial work. They're the go-to for the local bank branch, the standalone pharmacy, or the small industrial warehouse. These contractors are generally reliable. They do good work. They honor their commitments. Their crews are often direct employees who have been with them for years. They have proper insurance, they follow safety protocols, and they stand behind their work. For a straightforward, uncomplicated commercial roofing project, like a simple TPO replacement on a 5,000 square foot rectangular building, a Tier 2 contractor can be a fantastic choice. They offer a good balance of quality and cost, but their limitations can become apparent as the complexity of the project increases. They might not have deep experience with more specialized roofing systems, like historic slate, complex architectural metal, or vegetative roofs. Their project management capabilities might be stretched thin on a massive, multi-phase project for a hospital or a university campus, where coordinating with other trades and adhering to strict timelines is paramount. They may not have a dedicated service department that can guarantee a 24-hour emergency response time, which is critical for a facility that operates around the clock. And while they understand roofing, they might not speak the language of asset management, total cost of ownership, or long-term capital planning. They see their job as installing a roof that doesn't leak, which is important. But they might not have the framework to help you forecast expenses, develop a proactive maintenance plan, and maximize the financial performance of your roof over its entire 30-year lifespan. They are excellent technicians, but they may not be strategic partners. This brings us to Tier 1. These are the commercial roofing specialists. For them, commercial and industrial roofing isn't just a part of their business. It is their business. These firms are structured less like construction crews and more like professional service organizations. They have dedicated departments for every phase of your roof's life cycle. A sales team that acts more like a team of consultants, a full-time service department with dedicated technicians for maintenance and repairs, and a production department with seasoned project managers who live and breathe complex logistics. Tier 1 contractors carry multi-million-dollar insurance policies, not because they have to, but because their clients, hospitals, data centers, school districts, Fortune 500 companies require it. They have a full-time safety director on staff, and their commitment to OSHA standards is non-negotiable. Their teams receive continuous training directly from manufacturers on the latest materials and installation techniques. When you get a proposal from a Tier 1 firm, it won't be a one-page quote. It will be a comprehensive diagnostic document, complete with core samples, infrared scans, and detailed photo documentation. It will present multiple options, outlining not just the upfront cost, but the long-term cost of ownership for each. They'll talk to you about energy efficiency, R-value, and how a new roof can lower your building's HVAC costs. They'll discuss proactive maintenance plans that extend the life of your roof and ensure you maintain your manufacturer's warranty. They don't just want to replace your roof, they want to manage your roofing asset portfolio. They have the technology and systems to track the condition of every roof you own, helping you budget for repairs and replacements years in advance. They are true strategic partners who understand that the roof is an integral part of your building's financial performance. Their price will almost never be the lowest. It can't be. You are paying for a level of expertise, risk mitigation, and professional management that simply doesn't exist in the other tiers. So, why is understanding these 3 tiers so critically important? Because it prevents you from making a catastrophic error in the bidding process. Comparing apples to oranges. If you get 3 bids and one is from a Tier 3 storm chaser, one from a solid Tier 2 local pro, and one from a Tier 1 specialist, you are not looking at 3 prices for the same thing. You are looking at 3 fundamentally different service levels, 3 different risk profiles, and 3 different outcomes for your building. The lowest bid isn't the best deal. It's just the price for the highest risk, lowest service option. Choosing the right contractor isn't about finding the cheapest price. It's about accurately matching the tier of the contractor to the specific needs of your building and your business. Do you own a single small storage facility with nothing valuable inside? A reliable Tier 2 contractor might be the perfect, most cost-effective fit. But do you manage a refrigerated warehouse where a roof failure could spoil millions of dollars in inventory? Or a medical facility where a leak could compromise a sterile environment? In those cases, the peace of mind, risk mitigation, and specialized expertise of a Tier 1 firm isn't a luxury. It's an absolute necessity. The slightly higher upfront cost is an investment in certainty. Your first job, before you even think about asking for a bid, is to look at your building, understand your own risk tolerance, and decide which tier of service you actually need. Making that decision consciously up front is the first step toward taking control of the process. It's how you stop being a reactive buyer and start becoming a strategic asset manager. And once you know what you're looking for, the next step is to figure out where to find them. So where do you even begin to look? For 99% of people, the answer is a single word: Google. They type in "commercial roofer near me" and click on the first, second, or third result. And right there, they've already made their first critical mistake. Because what they don't realize is that the top of a Google search page isn't a meritocracy. It's an auction. The companies at the very top are often just the ones with the biggest marketing budget, not necessarily the best skills, the best materials, or the best reputation. They've paid to be there. And just below those ads, you have the map pack and the organic listings, which feel more trustworthy. But this is another minefield. You see a company with hundreds of 5-star reviews and you think, this is it. This is the one. But how many of those reviews are real? It's an ugly secret in the industry, but companies can and do buy fake reviews. They can pressure employees to leave glowing testimonials. They can create systems that only prompt happy customers to leave a review, while burying the unhappy ones. A wall of 5-star reviews isn't a guarantee of quality. It's often just a sign of a savvy digital marketing team. Worse yet are the lead generation websites. They have names that sound official, like Best Roofing Pros or National Contractor Network. They look like you're finding a contractor, but you're not. You're filling out a form that sells your information, your name, your number, your project details, to a dozen different contractors in your area who have paid for that lead. Suddenly, your phone is blowing up. You're getting calls from companies you've never heard of, some desperate, some aggressive, and you have no idea who is qualified and who isn't. You've lost control before you've even started. You've turned yourself from a hunter into the hunted. This isn't the way. The professional strategic asset manager doesn't start in the chaotic, open marketplace of a Google search. They start with curated, pre-vetted sources. They start where quality is the price of entry. The single most powerful, yet overlooked place to find an elite commercial roofing contractor is by going directly to the source, the manufacturers. Think about it. Companies like Carlisle Syntec, GAF, Firestone, Sika, Johns Manville. These giants don't just make roofing materials, they build their entire reputation on the long-term performance of those materials. A failing roof doesn't just look bad for the contractor, it looks bad for the brand name on the membrane. Because of this, they have created incredibly rigorous certification programs. To become, for example, a Carlisle authorized applicator or a GAF Master Elite commercial contractor, a roofing company has to prove themselves over years. They have to demonstrate financial stability, carry the proper insurance, and undergo continuous factory direct training on the exact installation methods for that specific material. They are tested. They are audited. The manufacturer's own technical reps will literally show up on their job sites to inspect their work. When you hire one of these certified contractors, you're not just hiring a roofer. You're hiring an extension of the manufacturer itself. And this unlocks the single most valuable asset in commercial roofing: the no-dollar limit, or NDL warranty. An NDL warranty is the holy grail. It means that if the roof fails due to materials or workmanship, the manufacturer, the multi-billion-dollar corporation, steps in and pays for the entire repair or replacement, from labor to materials, with no cap on the cost. A local roofer's 5-year workmanship warranty is only as good as their ability to stay in business. An NDL warranty from a company like GAF is backed by a century of stability. So your first move shouldn't be Google. It should be going to the websites of the top 2 or 3 manufacturers for the type of roof system you're considering, and using their Find a Contractor tool. This instantly gives you a short list of companies in your area that have already passed a massive, enterprise-level vetting process. You're fishing from a stocked pond of proven performers, not the murky waters of the open internet. The second source is your own professional network. But not just asking around. You need to be methodical. Identify other building owners or property managers in your area who oversee facilities of a similar size and complexity to yours. Look at the buildings that are exceptionally well maintained. Call them. Don't just ask, "Who do you use for your roof?" That's a rookie question. Ask the questions that reveal the truth about the experience. Ask, how was the communication from their project manager? When unexpected issues came up, how did they handle them? Was the final bill what you expected? Or were there a lot of change orders? And the most important question of all, knowing what you know now, would you hire them again without any hesitation? The pause before they answer that last question will tell you everything you need to know. A referral from a trusted peer who has already gone through the fire is worth 1,000 anonymous online reviews. It's real-world data, not digital marketing. Third, look to industry associations. The big one is the National Roofing Contractors Association, or NRCA. But there are also powerful state and regional associations. Membership in these organizations is a sign of commitment. It shows that a contractor isn't just a guy with a truck and some tools. They are an established business invested in their trade. These associations provide ongoing education on safety protocols, regulatory changes, and new technologies. Members are held to a code of ethics. While it's not as rigorous a filter as a manufacturer certification, it's a strong indicator that a company takes its business seriously. It shows they are part of the industry fabric, not just passing through. And finally, there's a beautifully simple, old-school method that I call the drive-by. As you move through your city, pay attention. When you see a major commercial re-roofing project underway, cranes, dumpsters, crews at work on a large flat roof, look for the sign. Every reputable contractor will have a sign on the job site with their name and number. This is a goldmine of information. First, it tells you they are active and winning bids right now in your market. Second, it tells you that another local business owner has already done their due diligence and trusted this company with a massive capital investment. Third, and most powerfully, you can see their work in real time. Is the job site clean and organized? Are the crews wearing proper safety gear? Does it look like a professional, well-managed operation? Or does it look like chaos? You can learn more about a contractor's culture and discipline from 10 minutes of observing their job site than you can from 10 hours of reading their website. Take a picture of the sign. Write down the name. Add it to the list. Using these 4 methods, manufacturer databases, professional referrals, industry associations, and the drive-by, your goal is to build what we call the long list. You're not trying to find the one perfect contractor yet. You are simply assembling a pool of qualified candidates. You're aiming for a list of maybe 5 to 10 companies that have passed this initial high-level screening. Each one of these names will be exponentially better qualified than a random pick from a search engine. You've bypassed the marketing fluff and gone straight to the evidence of quality. Manufacturer backing, peer approval, industry commitment, and real-world professionalism. Now you have your list. A handful of names that look promising. But here's where most people drop the ball. They pick the one with the fanciest truck or the smoothest talking salesperson. They let the bidding process devolve into a confusing race to the bottom on price. But the pros? The pros have a system. They have a checklist that separates the contenders from the pretenders before they even waste a single minute on a sales call. And that exact checklist is what we're breaking down next. This is your pre-qualification gauntlet, a digital and logistical filter that you run every single potential contractor through before you ever speak to a human being. This isn't about getting bids yet. This is about earning the right to give you a bid. This process alone will eliminate 90% of the field, saving you from a world of headaches, and it starts with what I call the digital handshake. In today's world, if a commercial roofing company doesn't have a professional, functional website, that's not just a red flag. It's a giant, flashing neon sign that says, "Turn back now." We're not talking about a website that needs to win design awards. We're talking about a digital business card that proves they are a legitimate, established entity. What are you looking for? 3 things. First, a portfolio of their work. And I mean their work. Look closely at the pictures. Do they look like generic stock photos you could find anywhere online? Or do they show the same crew, the same trucks in various stages of completing real-world projects? A pro is proud of their work and they document it. Second, a clear list of services. Do they specialize in the type of roof you have? TPO, EPDM, PVC, modified bitumen, metal? A company that claims to do it all often masters none of it. Look for a specialist. Third, and this is crucial, a physical address. Not a PO box. A real verifiable local address you can look up on Google Maps. We'll come back to why this is a deal breaker in a moment. Once you've vetted their website, you move to their public reputation. Type their company name into Google and look at the reviews. Read the good, the bad, and the ugly. Don't just look at the star rating. A perfect 5-star rating with only 10 generic reviews is less trustworthy than a 4.7-star rating with 200 detailed reviews and a few negatives. The magic is in the details. Do the positive reviews mention specific crew members? Do they talk about the cleanup process? The communication? Those are signs of real customers. Now look at the negative reviews. How does the company respond? Do they get defensive and blame the customer? Or do they respond professionally, offering to make things right? A company's character isn't defined by having zero problems. It's defined by how they solve the problems they inevitably face. After Google, check the Better Business Bureau. An A+ rating is great, but also look at how long they've been accredited, and if there are any resolved or unresolved complaints. This is your public-facing due diligence. It takes maybe 15 minutes per company and tells you a story that no salesperson ever will. Now let's circle back to that physical address. This is filter number 2, and it's about locality and legitimacy. You are looking for a contractor who is established in your community. Why? Accountability. When their office is 20 minutes down the road, you're not just a job number. You're a neighbor. They have a local reputation to protect. Their kids might go to the same schools as your employees' kids. They can't just pack up and disappear. This is also your primary defense against the storm chasers. These are out-of-state companies that blow into town after a major hail or windstorm, knock on 100 doors, slap on a bunch of cheap roofs with unskilled labor, cash the insurance checks, and are gone before the first leak appears. Their website might list a local PO box or a temporary office in Arigas, but a quick search will show their real headquarters is 6 states away. If a contractor's home base isn't within a reasonable driving distance, for the purpose of this initial filter, they are disqualified. Period. Okay, so they have a good website, solid reviews, and a real local address. They've passed the digital handshake. Now comes the part that is absolutely 100% non-negotiable. This is where you separate the professionals from the people playing pretend with a pickup truck and a ladder. This is the paperwork gauntlet. You need to verify their license and their insurance. And you need to do it yourself. Do not, I repeat, do not just take their word for it or accept a photocopy they email you. First, licensing. Every state, and often every county or city, has different requirements. You need to go to your state's official licensing board website. Just search for your state contractor licensing board and look them up. Verify that their license is active, in good standing, and that it covers the scope and scale of your commercial project. Some residential roofers will try to take on a commercial job that their license doesn't legally permit them to do. If you hire them, you are taking on all of that liability. If the state inspector shows up and shuts down your project, that's on you. Verifying the license is your first layer of armor. Next is insurance, and this is the big one. This is the one that can bankrupt a business. They need to have 2 specific types of insurance, and if they are missing either one, you hang up the phone and you run. The first is general liability. This covers property damage. If they drop a tool and it shatters a multi-thousand-dollar plate glass window, or their crane bumps into a wall, their general liability covers it. Most will have this, but the one that amateurs skip because it's expensive is workers' compensation. Workers' comp covers injuries to their employees on your property. Let me be crystal clear. If they do not have adequate workers' compensation insurance, and one of their crew members falls off your roof, your business can be held liable for their medical bills, their lost wages, and their pain and suffering. We are talking about lawsuits that can easily run into the hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. Your own insurance will fight it, but it will be a legal nightmare you never want to experience. You must get a copy of their certificate of insurance, or COI. On that certificate, you should be listed as the certificate holder. Call the insurance agency listed on the certificate directly and verify that the policy is active and that the coverage amounts are sufficient for a project of your size. $1 million policy is a bare minimum starting point for most commercial work. Finally, within this paperwork gauntlet, you can ask about bonding. A surety bond is essentially an insurance policy for you, the client. If the contractor fails to complete the job, goes out of business, or just does terrible work, the bonding company will step in to either pay another contractor to finish the job or compensate you for your financial loss. It's an extra layer of protection that serious, financially stable contractors will have no problem securing. The last filter in this pre-qualification stage is looking for signs of true mastery. This is where you look for manufacturer certifications. The biggest names in commercial roofing, think GAF, Carlisle, Firestone, CertainTeed, they don't let just anyone install their systems. They have rigorous certification programs that require contractors to undergo extensive training, prove their financial stability, and have a long track record of quality installations. Being a GAF Master Elite or a Carlisle Certified Applicator isn't just a fancy badge. It means the manufacturer themselves trusts this contractor to install their product correctly. More importantly, it often means you, the building owner, are eligible for the best warranties on the market, warranties that are backed by the multi-billion-dollar manufacturer, not just the local roofing company. This is a massive advantage. So let's recap. Before you've even spoken to a single salesperson, you've used this checklist to build a short list of contractors who have a professional online presence, a solid local reputation, a verifiable physical address, a current and correct license, and proof of both general liability and workers' compensation insurance. You've filtered out the storm chasers, the uninsured liabilities, and the fly-by-night operators. You've successfully separated the contenders from the pretenders. You now have a list of 3 to 5 companies that are, on paper, worthy of your time and your investment. But as we all know, what looks good on paper doesn't always translate to the real world. The true test, the moment of truth that separates a good contractor from a great partner, happens in that first conversation. The way they answer the phone, the questions they ask you, and the specific, almost surgical questions you need to ask them. There are 5 key questions to ask in that initial call, and one of them is a subtle trap, designed to instantly reveal if you're talking to a true professional or just a slick salesman. And those 5 questions are exactly what we're covering next. Alright, let's dive straight in. Question number 1 is the gatekeeper. It's simple, it's direct, and if they stumble here, you hang up the phone. The question is, are you fully licensed and insured for commercial roofing in my state? And can you provide a certificate of insurance, or COI, before any work begins? This isn't just a checkbox. This is the foundation of the entire relationship. Think of it like this. Would you hire a surgeon who wasn't board certified? Of course not. A commercial roofing license isn't just a piece of paper. It's proof that they've met a minimum standard of competency and are recognized by the state. But the insurance part is even more critical for you, the building owner. Here's why. If an uninsured worker falls off your roof, you aren't just a bystander. You become the target. Their medical bills, their lost wages. Lawyers will argue that since you hired them, you are liable. A simple roofing project can spiral into a multi-million-dollar lawsuit that could bankrupt your business. A professional contractor carries at least 2 crucial policies: general liability and workers' compensation. General liability protects your property from damage they might cause, and workers' comp protects their crew, and you, from job site injuries. When you ask this question, listen carefully to the answer. A pro will say, absolutely. We carry $5 million in general liability and full workers' comp for our entire team. I can have our insurance agent email you the COI directly this afternoon, naming you as an additional insured. That is a perfect answer. It's confident and transparent. A bad answer sounds like this. Yeah, we're covered. Or, we can get you that stuff later. Vague, dismissive answers are giant, flashing red lights. If they can't immediately and confidently confirm their licensing and insurance, they are not a serious commercial contractor. End the call. Okay, so they passed the first test. Now for question number 2, which separates the specialists from the generalists. Don't ask, how long have you been in business? A company could be 100 years old but have only done residential shingles. The real question is, can you provide me with a list of 3 to 5 recent commercial roofing projects, similar in size, scope, and material to what you believe our building might need? This question does 3 things beautifully. First, it forces them to prove their relevant experience. A 200,000 square foot flat TPO roof on a warehouse is a completely different universe from a 3,000 square foot shingle roof on a house. It requires different equipment, different crew sizes, different safety protocols, and a deep understanding of commercial-grade materials and drainage systems. is the difference between a family doctor and a heart surgeon. You need the heart surgeon. Second, it tests their organization. A professional contractor has this information ready to go. They have a portfolio, a list of proud projects they can send you in minutes. A disorganized contractor will say, yeah, let me see what I can dig up and get back to you. That hesitation tells you everything. Third, it gives you a roadmap for your due diligence later on. These aren't just project names. They are your future phone calls. You'll be calling these property managers and building owners to verify the contractor's claims. If they can't provide a list, it means one of two things. Either they don't have the experience or their past clients weren't happy. Either way, it's a deal breaker. Now for question 3. This one moves past their history and into their process. It reveals how they think and operate. Ask them, can you walk me through your typical process from the initial inspection to project completion and the final walkthrough? What you're listening for here is structure. A top-tier contractor will describe a clear multi-step plan. It will sound something like this. Certainly. The next step would be to schedule a comprehensive on-site inspection where our project manager will assess the current roof, take core samples if necessary, and use thermal imaging to detect moisture. From there, we'll develop a detailed proposal with a few different system options, outlining the scope of work, materials, and a firm timeline. Once you approve, we'll handle all the permitting, schedule a pre-construction meeting with your team, and then begin work. Throughout the project, you'll receive daily progress reports. Upon completion, we'll do a final walkthrough with you to ensure every detail is perfect before processing the final invoice and delivering your warranty documents. That answer is music to a building owner's ears. It's organized, it's client-focused, and it shows they have a repeatable system for success. The amateur? They'll give you a vague, fuzzy answer. Well, we'll come out, take a look, and send you a price. If you like it, we'll get it done for you. That lack of a defined process is a direct window into how they run their projects. Chaotically. They solve problems as they come up instead of preventing them in the first place. This is how timelines get blown, budgets get broken, and massive mistakes happen. A clear process means a predictable, professional result. Okay, are you ready? We've set the stage. We've weeded out the uninsured and the inexperienced. Now it's time for the master question, the one I called the subtle trap. This question is designed to expose a contractor's core motivation. It reveals if they are truly your consultant or just a salesman for someone else. The question is, do you have a preferred roofing manufacturer and why? This seems like an innocent question, but the answer is a dead giveaway. The slick salesman, the guy who's pushing a product, will respond with unwavering loyalty to a single brand. He'll say, oh, absolutely. We are a Platinum Elite installer for Megacorp Roofing. We only install their products. They're the best in the business, fantastic warranty. We have a great relationship with our rep. On the surface, this sounds impressive. Platinum Elite. But what did he just tell you? He told you that his solution is decided before he even understands your problem. He is not loyal to you. He is loyal to Megacorp Roofing. His toolbox only has one tool, and he's going to convince you that your building's unique needs just happen to be a nail that his one hammer can fix. He gets kickbacks, volume discounts, and fancy awards from that manufacturer. His recommendation is biased by his own business interests, not yours. Now listen to the answer from a true professional, a genuine roofing consultant. They'll say something like, that's an important question. We are certified to install systems from several top-tier manufacturers like Carlisle, GAF, and Johns Manville. We don't have one single preference because the best manufacturer and system is 100% dependent on your specific building, your budget, and your long-term goals. For example, a white TPO roof might be best for energy efficiency in this climate, but if you have a lot of chemical exhaust from your building's operations, a PVC membrane might be a more durable choice. Once we perform a full inspection and understand your priorities, we'll present you with a good, better, and best option from different manufacturers, and we'll explain the pros and cons of each so you can make an informed decision. Do you see the night and day difference? The first answer is about them, their certifications, their relationships. The second answer is about you, your building, your budget, your goals. One is a salesman pushing a product. The other is an expert solving a problem. This one question cuts through all the noise and reveals their true allegiance. Finally, question number 5. This is the one most building owners never think to ask, but it speaks volumes about a company's culture and professionalism. The question is, what is your company's EMR? And can you describe your safety program? EMR stands for Experience Modification Rate. In simple terms, it's a number used by insurance companies to gauge a company's safety record. It's like a credit score for safety. A score of 1.0 is the industry average. A score below 1.0 means their safety record is better than average. A score above 1.0 means they have more accidents and injuries than their peers. A professional, safety-conscious contractor will know their EMR off the top of their head. They'll be proud of it. They'll say, "Our current EMR is a 0.79. We're very proud of that. We achieve it through a comprehensive safety program that includes mandatory weekly toolbox talks, daily site safety inspections by our foreman, and a full-time safety director who conducts random audits." The contractor you need to run from is the one who says, "What's an EMR?" Or, "I'd have to look that up." This tells you that safety is not a priority. It's an afterthought. A company with a poor safety culture not only puts its own workers at risk, it puts your property, your employees, and your customers at risk. Poor safety protocols lead to accidents, project delays, and potential OSHA violations on your property. So there you have it. 5 questions. Licensing and insurance. Relevant experience. A defined process. The manufacturer trap. And the safety EMR. Armed with these 5 questions, you can filter out 90% of the unqualified contractors in your first phone call, saving you hours of wasted time and protecting you from a world of future headaches. You've successfully navigated the phone screen. You've narrowed your list down to 2 or 3 legitimate professional contenders. Now the real test begins. They have to come to your property, and when they step out of their truck, their every move, every question they ask, and every tool they use tells a story about the kind of work they do. And I'm going to show you exactly how to read that story, so you can spot the master from the mediocre before they even set foot on your roof. The moment a potential contractor pulls up to your property, the audition has already begun. Don't just look at the logo on the truck. Look at the truck itself. Is it clean, organized, a mobile representation of a professional operation? Or does it look like it just survived a demolition derby, with tools and trash rattling around in the back? This isn't about being judgmental. It's about understanding that how a company cares for its own assets is a direct reflection of how it will care for yours. Punctuality is another chapter in this story. If they're late to this first, critical meeting without a very good reason and a courteous call, what does that tell you about their ability to manage a complex project schedule with multiple crews, material deliveries, and weather delays? The clues are right there before a single word is spoken. But then the conversation starts. And this is where the gap between the amateur and the expert becomes a canyon. A mediocre contractor will walk in, shake your hand, and ask one question. "So where's the leak?" They're a human band-aid. They're focused on the symptom because it's the fastest path to a sale. They want to get on the roof, find the most obvious problem, and get back to their truck to write up a quick, simple quote. A true professional, a master of their craft, will barely mention the roof for the first 15 minutes. Instead, they'll interview you. They'll ask questions that show they're not just thinking about shingles and tar. They're thinking about your business, your investment, and your future. They'll ask things like, "Tell me about the history of this roof. Have there been previous repairs? Do you have the paperwork for them?" They want to know the patient's medical history before they start diagnosing. They'll ask, "What are your long-term plans for this building? Are you planning to sell in 5 years? Or is this a legacy property you'll hold for 30? The answer dramatically changes the right solution. A 5-year fix is completely different from a 30-year roofing system. Then they'll get even deeper. What kind of operations happen inside this building? Are we protecting sensitive servers, expensive manufacturing equipment, or food-grade inventory? They know that a single drop of water in the wrong place could cost you more than the entire roofing project. They're already planning for logistics, safety, and operational continuity. They'll ask about your budget. Not in a pushy salesman way, but in a consultative way. What have you allocated for this project? Understanding the financial reality helps me propose solutions that are actually viable for you, instead of just showing you the most expensive option. A contractor who asks these questions is telling you something profound. I am not just a roofer. I am a business consultant who specializes in the building envelope. They see your roof as a critical asset that protects everything else you've built. The mediocre contractor sees it as a surface to be covered. Once you've experienced this level of questioning, you'll never see a roofer the same way again. Now let's talk about the tools they bring to the inspection. This is like watching a detective open their crime scene kit. The amateur arrives with a ladder, a tape measure, and maybe a cell phone to snap a few pictures. They are relying on one tool: their eyesight. And on a complex commercial roof, that is woefully inadequate. The professional shows up with technology. The first and most important piece of gear is an infrared or thermal imaging camera. This is non-negotiable. An infrared camera allows the contractor to see what the human eye cannot: temperature differences across the roof surface. Wet insulation trapped beneath the roof membrane holds heat longer than dry insulation. So after the sun sets, a thermal scan will light up these saturated areas like a Christmas tree. It's like an X-ray for your roof. A contractor without an IR camera is guessing. They might find the entry point of the leak, but they have no idea if that water has migrated and saturated 10,000 square feet of insulation, turning it into a useless, heavy sponge that is rotting your roof deck from the inside out. They'll patch the hole, but they'll miss the cancer spreading underneath. Next, look for a high-quality drone. For large or complex commercial roofs, a drone is an indispensable tool for safety and accuracy. It can get a perfect, high-resolution overview of the entire roof system, identify potential problem areas in hard-to-reach or unsafe sections, and create a comprehensive photographic record of the roof's condition before any work begins. This protects both you and them. It shows they are modern, efficient, and they prioritize safety. Finally, they'll have specialized moisture meters to physically confirm the data from the thermal scan. They'll use the infrared to find the suspicious areas, and then use the meter to get a precise reading. This isn't guesswork. It's a scientific diagnosis. A contractor who invests thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars in this diagnostic technology is telling you they believe in data, not guesswork. They are a surgeon, and this is their MRI. The guy with just a tape measure? He's a butcher. Once they get on the roof, the differences in their process are night and day. The amateur roofer will walk directly to the area where you said the leak is. They'll poke around, take a photo of the obvious crack or blister, and that's about it. They're on and off your roof in 20 minutes. The professional conducts a full forensic investigation. They don't walk, they methodically grid the roof. They start at the edges, the perimeter flashing and coping caps, because they know that this is where over 90% of all roof failures originate. They check every seam, every weld, every piece of edge metal. Then they move to the field of the roof, looking for subtle signs of aging and stress, crazing, blistering, and areas of ponding water. Most importantly, they will meticulously inspect every single penetration. Every pipe, vent, drain, HVAC unit, and skylight is a hole that has been cut into your roof and sealed. Each one is a potential point of failure. The professional will inspect every one, checking the flashing details and the integrity of the sealant. They are hunting for problems you don't even know you have yet. And then comes the ultimate test of a true expert. They will ask for your permission to perform a core cut. They will cut a small 2x2-inch square out of your roof membrane, which they will immediately and perfectly patch. This core sample is the roof's DNA. Tells them everything. It reveals the exact number of roof layers you have, the type and thickness of the membrane, the condition and type of the insulation. Is it dry, damp, or completely saturated? And the structural deck underneath. This single piece of information is the difference between a precise, accurate proposal and a wild guess. A contractor who doesn't core is a doctor who refuses to take a blood sample. They're choosing to remain ignorant. A pro wants the absolute truth because that's the only way to build a solution that lasts. Throughout this entire process, they are documenting everything. Not 10 photos, hundreds of photos. Close-ups of failed seams, wide shots of ponding water, detailed images of every penetration, all cataloged and organized. They are building a comprehensive case file on the state of your asset. When the inspection is over, the amateur says, "All right, I've seen enough. I'll email you a price in a few days." And then they disappear, leaving you to wonder what they found. The professional, on the other hand, will sit down with you right then and there, before they leave the property. They'll pull out a tablet and show you the key photos, maybe even the thermal images. They'll give you an immediate, on-the-spot debrief. They'll say things like, "Okay, here's the area of the active leak you pointed out. But as you can see from this infrared scan, the moisture has actually spread all the way over to this drain. This tells us the problem is more systemic." They educate you. They translate the complex roofing language into plain English that you can understand. They'll present you with options, not just a single take-it-or-leave-it price. They'll say, "Based on what we saw, and based on your plan to hold the building for another 15 years, we have 3 viable paths. We can do a targeted repair and coating to buy you another 5 to 7 years. We can do a full restoration that would give you a new 15-year warranty. or we can do a full replacement. Here are the rough budget ranges for each, and my formal proposal will break down the exact pros and cons. They manage your expectations. They turn a moment of uncertainty and stress into a clear, collaborative planning session. They leave your property having established themselves not as a salesman, but as a trusted advisor. This on-site meeting isn't a formality. It's a live-action audition for a multi-thousand-dollar role in the future of your business. It's your single best chance to see who they really are, long before you see their name on a contract. Now that you've seen how a pro operates on-site, you're about to receive their proposal. But not all proposals are created equal. Some are one-page price tags. Others are strategic blueprints for your building's future. Next, I'm going to show you how to dissect any proposal line by line, to uncover the hidden costs, the vague promises, and the critical details that separate a bulletproof contract from a financial time bomb. So, you have the proposals in hand. They might look impressive, professional letterhead, detailed charts, maybe even a glossy photo of a finished project. But I want you to see them for what they really are. A set of promises on paper. And as we all know, some promises are built on solid rock, and others are written in disappearing ink. Your job now is to become a forensic accountant, a contract lawyer, and a master detective all rolled into one. You're not just reading these documents, you are interrogating them. Let's start with the most important section, the one that forms the very heart of the entire agreement, the scope of work. This isn't a summary. It should be a painfully detailed step-by-step narrative of the entire project. Vague language here is not your friend. It is a Trojan horse filled with change orders. If a proposal says remove existing roof, you push back. It needs to say complete tear-off of the existing EPDM membrane, polyiso insulation, and fiberboard down to the structural metal deck. Why? Because if they get up there and find a second roof buried underneath the first, that simple phrase remove existing roof just gave them a golden ticket to charge you thousands more for unforeseen conditions. Look for specifics on every single action. Does it say install new insulation? It should say mechanically fasten 2 layers of 2.6-inch polyisocyanurate insulation with a staggered seam pattern to achieve a minimum R value of 30. Does it say address flashings? That's a get-out-of-jail-free card. It must say install new 0.060-inch TPO membrane flashing at all perimeter walls, curbs, and pipe penetrations, heat welded to the field membrane and terminated with a new termination bar and sealant. The difference between those two statements is the difference between a roof that lasts 30 years and one that leaks in 30 months. If a contractor can't provide this level of detail in the proposal, how can you trust them to execute it on your roof? Next, we move to the materials list. This is where contractors can play a shell game. A good proposal won't just say JFTPO membrane. It will specify the exact product line, the thickness, is it 45 mil, 60 mil, or 80 mil? And the color. It will list the manufacturer for the insulation, the coverboard, the fasteners, the adhesives, the metal flashing, even the caulk. Be extremely wary of the phrase, or equivalent. While sometimes necessary for supply chain reasons, it can also be a backdoor to substitute cheaper, inferior materials to pad their profit margin. If they insist on keeping that clause, demand that any proposed substitution be approved by you, in writing before it's ordered. This single detail puts you back in control of quality. Now let's talk about something most building owners completely miss: the installation methodology. It's not enough to know what they're installing. You need to know how. Is the TPO membrane going to be fully adhered with glue? Or is it going to be mechanically fastened with plates and screws? A fully adhered system often looks better and has better wind uplift resistance in some scenarios, but it's more expensive and labor-intensive. A mechanically fastened system is faster and cheaper, but if not done correctly, can lead to membrane fluttering. The proposal must state the method clearly, because it dramatically affects both the cost and the long-term performance of your roof. It should also explicitly state that all work will be performed according to the manufacturer's latest written specifications. This is your ultimate safety net. It means they can't just do it the way they've always done it. They have to do it the right way, the way that actually keeps your warranty valid. Alright, let's flip the page to my favorite section, the one I call the land of hidden costs. The exclusions list. This is what the contractor is explicitly stating they will not do. Pay very close attention. A common exclusion is replacement of wet or deteriorated roof decking. This is huge. They will tear off your old roof, discover half your wooden or metal deck is rotted through, and then hand you a massive change order for the replacement. A great contractor will anticipate this. Their proposal should include a unit price. For example, rotten plywood decking will be replaced at a cost of $120 per 4x8 sheet installed. This way you know the cost up front. There are no surprises. Other classic exclusions to watch for: interior protection of your building's contents, costs for permits and municipal fees, handling of rooftop HVAC units, and after-hours or weekend work. If these things aren't explicitly included in the scope, you can bet they are excluded, and you will be paying for them out of pocket. A transparent proposal accounts for these possibilities. A shady one ignores them, hoping to spring them on you when you're most vulnerable mid-project, with your building exposed to the elements. Now for the warranty, the big promise at the end of the rainbow. You need to understand that there are almost always two different warranties. First is the contractor's workmanship warranty. This covers leaks or failures caused by their installation mistakes. It typically lasts for 1, 2, maybe 5 years. But the big one is the manufacturer's warranty, often called a no-dollar limit or NDL warranty. This is a partnership between the manufacturer and the certified installer. It covers both workmanship and material defects for a period of 15, 20, or even 30 years. Getting a full NDL warranty is non-negotiable for any major commercial project. The proposal must state that the bid includes the cost of this warranty. It's not free. The contractor has to pay the manufacturer for the inspections and the policy. If a bid seems suspiciously low, this is often one of the first things they cut. And don't just see the words 20-year warranty and move on. Ask for a sample copy of the actual warranty document. Read the fine print. Does it cover ponding water? Does it require you to pay for an annual maintenance plan? What are the exclusions? A warranty is only as good as the paper it's written on. So make sure you read that paper before you sign anything. Finally, we arrive at the bottom line: the price and the payment schedule. The total price is important, but the structure of the payments is a massive indicator of a contractor's financial stability. A huge red flag is a demand for a large upfront deposit, anything more than 10 or 15%. A massive down payment often means the contractor is using your money to pay off debts from their last job. A classic sign of a poorly run business on the brink of failure. A standard, healthy payment schedule looks something like this: 10% on contract signing, 40% upon delivery of materials to the site, 40% upon substantial completion of the project, and a final 10% held back until all punch list items are complete and you have the warranty documents in your hand. This structure protects you every step of the way. It ensures the contractor has skin in the game until the very end. When you have all three proposals laid out, your final step is to normalize them. Create a simple spreadsheet. Make a row for every key item we just discussed. Tier off layers, insulation type and R value, membrane thickness, warranty type and length, unit price for deck replacement. Go through each proposal and fill in the blanks. This is where the truth comes out. You'll quickly see that the cheapest bid isn't the cheapest because the contractor is a nice guy. It's the cheapest because they're proposing a thinner membrane, a shorter warranty, or they've conveniently excluded the cost of lifting the HVAC units. This spreadsheet transforms a confusing stack of papers into an apples-to-apples comparison of true value. It allows you to see beyond the price tag and identify the proposal that offers the most robust, long-term solution for your building. You've dissected the proposals, you've normalized the data, and a clear winner is starting to emerge. But the deal isn't done. Now comes the final, most crucial step: forging that proposal into an ironclad contract. In the next part, we'll turn their paper into your shield, negotiating the terms that will protect your investment for decades to come. And I'll show you the one clause you absolutely must have that most contractors pray you never ask for. Alright, let's talk about the contract. This isn't just a piece of paper. It's the blueprint for success or the recipe for disaster. Most people see a contract as a formality, a dense document to be signed and filed away. That is a colossal mistake. A commercial roofing contract is a weapon, and right now it's pointed at you. Our job is to turn it around, to transform it from the contractor's protection into your fortress. Negotiation isn't about being confrontational. It's about achieving clarity. A great contractor welcomes this process. They want a contract that's crystal clear because it protects them from misunderstandings, too. It's the contractors who rely on vague language and gray areas you need to worry about. So let's shine a spotlight into every dark corner of this document. First, the scope of work. We touched on this when reviewing bids, but now it gets legally binding. Do not accept vague terms like install new TPO roofing system. That's not a scope of work, it's a wish. The contract must be surgically precise. It should specify the exact manufacturer and product name of the membrane, the insulation, the cover board. What is the R value of the insulation being installed? What is the thickness of the membrane in mils? It should detail the fastener type and the fastening pattern. Is it 6 fasteners per board or 16? That detail alone can be the difference between a roof that survives a hurricane and one that ends up in the next county. It needs to specify the exact flashing details for every penetration, every curb and every wall. If you see the phrase "as per manufacturer specifications," that's a good start, but it's not enough. Add the clause, "and in accordance with the National Roofing Contractors Association, NRCA, best practices." This holds them to the highest industry standard, not just the minimum required for a warranty. Next, let's negotiate the timeline. The proposal might say project duration, 8 to 10 weeks. Again, too vague. The contract needs a notice to proceed date, a firm start date, and a substantial completion date. Substantial completion is the key milestone. It's when the building is watertight and can be used for its intended purpose. Now, here's how you put teeth into that timeline. A liquidated damages clause. This clause states that if the contractor fails to meet the substantial completion date, they owe you a pre-agreed upon amount of money for each day they are late. This isn't a penalty. It's a reasonable estimate of the damages you'd incur from a delay, like lost rent from tenants or delayed business operations. A typical figure might be $500 to a few $1,000s a day, depending on your property. Good contractors who are confident in their scheduling will agree to a reasonable liquidated damages clause. Contractors who know they overpromise and underdeliver will fight you tooth and nail on this. That fight tells you everything you need to know. Now for the money, the payment schedule. Never ever agree to a contract that asks for a massive down payment. A request for 30, 40, or 50% upfront is a gigantic red flag. It can mean the contractor is undercapitalized and needs your money to buy materials for the last job, or worse, that they have a bad credit line with their suppliers. You should pay for work as it's completed. A fair structure is a small deposit upon signing, maybe 10%, to cover initial material orders and mobilization. After that, payments should be tied to specific verifiable milestones. For example, 30% upon completion of tear-off and installation of new insulation. 30% upon installation of the new roof membrane. The final 30%, the retainage, is held until after the project is 100% complete, all punch list items are addressed, and you have received all warranty documents in hand. This retainage is your single greatest piece of leverage to ensure the job is finished perfectly. Let's talk about change orders. This is the back door through which a low-bid contractor can bleed you dry. The contract will have a clause for handling unforeseen circumstances, like discovering rotted decking after the old roof is removed. The danger lies in how these changes are priced. You must negotiate the change order process before the project begins. The contract should stipulate that no change order work can proceed without your written authorization on a formal change order form. This form must clearly describe the change, the reason for it, and the total cost. More importantly, you should negotiate the pricing structure for these changes in advance. Specify that the cost will be based on pre-agreed unit prices, or on a cost-plus basis with a specified, fixed percentage for overhead and profit, say 15%. This prevents them from presenting you with an outrageous, non-negotiable bill in the middle of the project when you have no choice but to pay. Finally, we come to the warranties. There are two. The manufacturer's warranty, often called an NDL or no dollar limit warranty, covers defects in the roofing materials themselves. But the far more important warranty, the one you need to negotiate, is the contractor's workmanship warranty. This covers leaks or failures caused by improper installation. The manufacturer's warranty is useless if the roofer installed it incorrectly. Many contractors offer a standard 2-year warranty. For a $1 million roof, that is unacceptable. You should negotiate for a minimum 5-year workmanship warranty. And on major projects, a 10-year warranty is not an unreasonable ask. And get specific about the response time. The warranty should state that the contractor must respond to a leak call within 24 hours and have a crew on site to make temporary or permanent repairs within 48 hours. Now, for the one clause I promised, the one term that separates a standard contract from an ironclad shield for your business. Most contractors, even the good ones, will resist this. Some will flatly refuse, and their refusal will be the most valuable piece of information you gain during this entire process. This clause is called consequential damages. Let me explain. A standard warranty covers the cost of repairing the roof. If it leaks, they come and fix the leak. But what about the consequences of that leak? What about the brand new server racks that were destroyed? The pallets of inventory that were ruined? What about the lost revenue when you have to shut down a portion of your operations for a week to clean up the water damage? That, my friends, is consequential damage, and a standard contract explicitly excludes it. The contractor is only responsible for the roof itself, not for the chaos its failure causes inside your building. You must negotiate to include a consequential damages clause. It holds the contractor responsible not just for fixing their work, but for the direct business damages their faulty work causes. Now, contractors will tell you their insurance doesn't cover this, and often they're right. Their general liability policy is designed to protect them, not you. Pushing for this clause forces a very important conversation. It forces the contractor to confront the true risk of their work and their confidence in their ability to perform it flawlessly. You likely won't get unlimited coverage. That's a tough negotiation. But you can and should negotiate for a reasonable cap. A common compromise is to make the contractor liable for consequential damages up to the total value of the contract. So, on a $1 million roofing project, they would be on the hook for up to $1 million in damages to your inventory, equipment, and business operations caused by their bad installation. When you ask for this, one of two things will happen. A top-tier, confident contractor might push back, but they will understand the request. They'll consult their insurance agent and their attorney, and you can work towards a reasonable, capped agreement. They have faith in their crews, their supervision, and their quality control. They're willing to bet on themselves. But a less confident contractor, or one who knows their crews cut corners, they will panic. They will tell you it's impossible, that nobody does that you're being unreasonable. They will refuse flatly. And that refusal is a gift. It's them telling you in no uncertain terms that they do not have enough confidence in their own work to stand behind it when it truly matters. They are asking you to assume all the risk for their potential failure. Your answer should be a polite, "Thank you for your time," as you show them the door. Once you've negotiated these key terms, the detailed scope, the timeline with liquidated damages, the milestone-based payments, the controlled change order process, and the all-important consequential damages clause, you are almost there. The final, non-negotiable step is to have your attorney review the entire document. Do not skip this. A few hundred or even a few $1,000s in legal fees to review a 6- or 7-figure contract is the best insurance policy you will ever buy. With a signed, negotiated, and attorney-reviewed contract in hand, you have done more than hire a roofer. You have created a partnership with clear expectations, defined responsibilities, and a robust safety net for your investment. The hard part is over, right? Not quite. Because now we have to build the roof. And the success of the entire project hinges on one crucial meeting that happens before a single old shingle is torn off. But this is the pre-construction meeting. The pre-con. The final huddle before the Super Bowl. And if you walk into this meeting unprepared, you've already lost the game. This isn't just a friendly meet and greet. This is a strategic planning session where every single detail of the project is hammered out, debated, and locked into place. It's where the promises made in the contract are translated into a real-world, actionable battle plan. Skip this or treat it lightly, and you are inviting chaos, cost overruns, and catastrophic failures to set up camp on your property for the next 6 months. So who needs to be in this room? This isn't a spectator sport. First, you or your designated representative, the one person with the authority to make decisions. Alongside you should be your facility manager, the person who knows the building's nervous system better than anyone. From the contractor side, you need more than just the salesperson who sold you the job. You need the A-team, the project manager, who will be your main point of contact, and the strategic commander of the entire operation. You need the superintendent or foreman, the on-the-ground field general who will be on your roof every single day, managing the crew. And critically, you need their safety officer. If they don't have a dedicated person for this, or if the project manager just says, "Oh yeah, I handle safety," that's a bright red flag. The first order of business is establishing the chain of command. If you have a leak at 2 in the morning, who do you call? It's not the CEO of the roofing company. You need a name and a cell phone number for the project manager and a backup. If one of your employees sees a roofer working without a safety harness, who do they report it to immediately? It's the foreman or the safety officer. You need to map out the communication tree right then and there. No ambiguity. No, I'll get back to you. Names, titles, and phone numbers. This single step can be the difference between a minor issue and a full-blown disaster. Next, you pull out the site plan and you walk through the logistics of a small army descending on your property. This is where the devil lives, and he's hiding in the details. Where will the crew park their trucks? It cannot be in the spots reserved for your best customers or your CEO. Where will the material staging area be? This isn't just a pile of shingles. We're talking massive cranes, pallets of insulation, and 50-gallon drums of adhesive. This area needs to be secure, out of the way of your daily operations, and on a surface that can handle the weight without being destroyed. Where is the dumpster going? And not just for the old roof, but for daily trash. What's the plan for protecting your landscaping, your sidewalks, and the cars in the parking lot from falling debris? You need to see a detailed site logistics plan that shows designated walkways, caution tape zones, and protective barriers. What about access to the roof? Are they using a crane, a material hoist, or an internal staircase? Each one comes with its own set of disruptions and safety concerns that need to be addressed before they ever show up. And the simple questions: where do they use the restroom? Where do they take their lunch breaks? If you don't define this, their break room becomes your front lawn and their restroom becomes the bushes by your shipping dock. Get it all in writing. Now let's talk safety. Not the generic 3-ring binder they showed you during the sales pitch. We're talking about the site-specific safety plan for your building. Every building is unique. Do you have high-voltage power lines near the roof edge? Are there sensitive air intake units they need to work around to avoid pulling fumes into your HVAC system? Do you handle flammable materials in your facility? The contractor's safety plan must address the specific hazards of your property. You need to ask them to walk you through their fall protection plan. What system are they using? Guardrails? Personal fall arrest systems with harnesses and lanyards? Who is the competent person on site responsible for inspecting the gear every single day? Ask to see their fire safety plan. A commercial roofing project involves open flame torches, hot asphalt kettles, and flammable adhesives. Where will the fire extinguishers be located on the roof? What's the emergency evacuation plan if something goes wrong? This isn't about being paranoid. It's about being a responsible building owner. A single spark can turn your multi-million-dollar investment into a pile of ash. The pre-con meeting is your chance to verify they take this as seriously as you do. With safety and logistics locked down, you move to the heart of the project, the schedule. You need more than a simple start and end date. You need a phase schedule with clear milestones. Phase 1, mobilization and setup. Phase 2, tear-off of the northwest quadrant. Phase 3, installation of new insulation and membrane on that quadrant. And so on. Why is this so important? Because a roof is never removed all at once. It's done in sections that can be torn off and made watertight in the same day. You need to know exactly which parts of your building will be affected and when. This leads to the critical discussion about tenant and operational impact. Will the work be noisy? You bet it will. When will the noisiest work, like tear-off, happen? Can it be scheduled before your office opens or after it closes? Will there be fumes or odors from adhesives and asphalt? If so, what's the plan to manage them? This is where they need to coordinate with your facility manager to temporarily shut down nearby HVAC air intakes. You need to establish a communication protocol. How will you be updated on progress? A daily email report from the project manager is a good standard. A weekly on-site progress meeting is even better. What happens if there's a weather delay? How is that communicated and how does it affect the overall schedule? A professional contractor will have a plan for all of this. They'll have weather apps they monitor constantly and a protocol for securing the site and making sure your building is 100% waterproof if a surprise thunderstorm rolls in. Finally, you discuss quality control. The contract specifies a certain membrane thickness, a certain number of fasteners per square foot, a specific type of insulation. How are you, the owner, going to verify this? The answer is you don't have to if you set up the right process. You need to know who from the contractor's team is responsible for internal quality control. But more importantly, you need to understand the manufacturer's inspection process. The manufacturer of the roofing materials, the GAF, the Carlisle, the Firestone, is the one who ultimately provides the warranty. They will send their own inspector to the site at critical stages of the project to ensure their product is being installed exactly to their specifications. You need to get the schedule for those inspections. You want to know when they'll be there, and you have every right to be present for them. This third-party verification is your ultimate protection. It ensures that you're not just relying on the contractor's word. You're getting the stamp of approval from the global corporation that engineered the system. You walk out of this meeting with a crystal clear playbook. Every player knows their role, every logistical challenge has a solution, and every potential risk has a mitigation plan. The communication lines are open, the schedule is clear, and the standards for safety and quality are set in stone. The trucks haven't even arrived yet, but the project is already a success. You've replaced uncertainty with a detailed plan. Now the crew mobilizes, the tear-off begins, and day by day, you watch a new, perfectly installed roof system come to life, exactly as planned. The process is smooth, the disruptions are minimal, and your stress level is zero. Weeks later, the final piece of flashing is installed, the last tool is packed away, and the crew drives off into the sunset. The roof is on, the final payment is made. It's over. You did it. But the single most valuable piece of paper from this entire multi-million-dollar project hasn't even been created yet. And if you don't know exactly what to look for in that final document, your brand new top-of-the-line roof system might be completely worthless the moment something goes wrong. That final document is the warranty. And it's not just one piece of paper. It's a system of promises. Get it wrong, and you're left holding a worthless piece of paper while the contractor blames the manufacturer, and the manufacturer blames the contractor with your leaking roof caught in the middle. This is the final, most important battle in protecting your investment, and it's where most building owners lose the war without even knowing they were fighting. Let's be clear. There are two fundamental types of warranties you'll encounter. First, there's the contractor's workmanship warranty. This is the contractor's personal promise to you. It says, if my team made a mistake installing this roof, I will come back and fix it. This typically lasts for 1, 2, maybe 5 years. And while it sounds good, it's only as strong as the company that writes it. If that contractor goes out of business in 3 years, that piece of paper is now just recycled fiber. It's worthless. Then you have the manufacturer's material warranty. This comes from the giant corporation that made the roofing membrane, the insulation, the adhesives. They are guaranteeing that their product won't fail. If a sheet of their TPO membrane spontaneously cracks or degrades due to a manufacturing defect, they'll provide you with new material. Notice what I said. They'll provide the material. They won't pay for the labor to tear off the old, failed roof. They won't pay for the labor to install the new material. And they certainly won't pay for the water damage that happened inside your building while you were discovering the failure. This is the classic finger-pointing trap. A leak appears. You call the contractor. He inspects it and says, looks like a material failure, a bad seam from the factory. You need to call the manufacturer. So you call the manufacturer. They send a rep who looks at it and says, the material is fine. This is a clear case of poor workmanship. The seam wasn't welded at the right temperature. You need to call your contractor. And round you go while your inventory, your equipment, your entire business gets ruined from below. This is not the protection you paid for. This is not peace of mind. What you need, what you must demand, is the undisputed heavyweight champion of the roofing world. The manufacturer's NDL warranty. NDL stands for No Dollar Limit. Let me say that again. No dollar limit. This is the single most important document you will receive at the end of your project. It's not just a warranty, it's a certification. It's a partnership between the manufacturer and the contractor, with you as the sole beneficiary. An NDL warranty covers everything: the contractor's workmanship, the manufacturer's materials, the labor to make repairs, everything. It completely eliminates the finger-pointing game because both parties are on the same single document. A leak is a leak, and it's their shared responsibility to fix it, period. Now, how is this possible? Why would a multi-billion-dollar manufacturer guarantee the work of a local contractor they don't own? Because they don't just hand these out. To even be eligible to offer an NDL warranty, a contractor has to be factory certified, which involves years of training, a proven track record of quality installations, and financial stability. They are the elite special forces of the roofing world. But it goes even deeper. When you have an NDL warranty specified for your project, the manufacturer doesn't just trust the contractor. They verify. They send their own independent technical inspector to your job site. Not once, but multiple times. They show up unannounced at the beginning to ensure the substrate is properly prepared. They show up in the middle to take core samples and test the thickness of the adhesive. They pull on seams to check the quality of the welds. They are looking for any deviation from their extremely strict installation standards. If they find a single thing wrong, the contractor has to fix it on the spot, or they risk failing the inspection. The manufacturer is essentially auditing the entire roofing project in real time. By the time that roof is finished, it has been inspected, tested, and blessed by the very people who designed the system. So when they issue that NDL warranty, they're not just guaranteeing their product. They are certifying that the installation itself is flawless. They are putting their name and their money on the line, not just for the materials but for the craftsmanship. This is the gold standard. A 20-year NDL warranty means you have a 20-year promise from a massive, stable corporation that your roof will perform, and if it doesn't, they will make it right, no matter the cost. But even with this ironclad protection, you are not off the hook. The no-dollar limit doesn't mean no rules apply. Every warranty, even the best ones, has exclusions and owner responsibilities written in the fine print, and you need to read every single word. The number one thing that voids a warranty is neglect. You will likely be required to have the roof professionally inspected and maintained, sometimes once a year, sometimes twice. You'll need to keep records of these inspections. If you fail to do this and a problem arises from a clogged drain that you should have cleared, the manufacturer has every right to deny your claim. Look for other key exclusions. Ponding water is a big one. Most warranties state that if water stands on the roof for more than 48 hours, any damage it causes is not covered. This is why proper slope and drainage, which we discussed in earlier parts, are non-negotiable. The warranty will also exclude acts of God, things like tornado force winds or hail the size of a grapefruit. It will exclude damage from unauthorized alterations. If your HVAC guy goes up there and drills a new hole for a conduit without properly sealing it, that's on you, not the warranty. And you need to know if your warranty is transferable. If you sell the building in 10 years, does the warranty protection transfer to the new owner? Sometimes it does, but often it requires a formal transfer process and a fee. Once the last screw is fastened and the last seam is welded, your work isn't over. It's time for the final walkthrough. Do not let the contractor rush you through this. This is your last chance to identify issues before you sign that final check. Go up on the roof with the project foreman. Look at everything. Are the seams clean, straight, and consistent? Is the flashing around every pipe, vent, and skylight immaculate? There should be no good enough details. It needs to be perfect. Look at the big picture. Is the entire site cleaned up? A single stray screw left on the surface of a new membrane can be worked into a hole over time, causing a leak that will be a nightmare to find. Turn on a hose. Watch how the water flows. Does it move efficiently to the drains, or does it sit and form puddles? Create a punch list of every single tiny thing you find, and do not release that final payment until every last item has been corrected to your satisfaction. After the punch list is complete and you've made the final payment, you should receive a closeout package. This is your treasure chest of documents. It must contain several key items. First, the final paid invoice. Second, and this is non-negotiable, you need unconditional lien waivers from the contractor, the materials supplier, and any major subcontractors. This is your legal proof that they have all been paid in full and cannot come back later and put a lien on your property. And most importantly, it must contain the actual official warranty certificate issued by the manufacturer. Not a letter from the contractor saying it's on its way. Not a registration number. You need the physical or digital certificate with your company name, your building address, the start date, and the end date printed on it. This document is your proof of protection. File it away somewhere safe and set a calendar reminder for your required annual maintenance. Over the course of this series, we've taken a journey. We started by diagnosing the problems with your old roof. We learned how to find and vet elite contractors, how to dissect a proposal and avoid the traps of a low bid. We walked through the chaos of the project itself, and now we've secured the single most valuable asset that comes with a new roof: guaranteed peace of mind. You are now more educated on this topic than 99% of building owners in the country. You know the right questions to ask, the red flags to watch for, and the standards to demand. A commercial roof is one of the single biggest investments you will ever make in your property. It's the shield that protects everything you've built. You didn't just buy a roof, you invested in certainty. And now you have the knowledge to make sure that investment pays dividends for a generation to come.